na kwa ulimwengu mzima. Nataka muende radhi. Kwanza niseme kwa Kimombo, alafu nitarudi kwa Kiswahili. Sawa sawa? My dear Kenyans, I stand to you before you today with a very heavy heart and a lot of fear for my country and your people and your future in it. I stand here not as Raila Amolo Odinga, but as a patriot, and as your servant, with a sacred duty, to this country, the citizens and inhabitants of this great land, of ours. Many times before, and with your support, I have stood up for this country, sometimes at very great risk and at dark times in our country. But today, I feel the weight of history. Not just for Kenya, but for our beloved continent of Africa. I don't speak lightly, because I know what I say today will have far-reaching implications for the Republic of Kenya. So I appeal to you to lend me your ears, and listen to me carefully. I will begin with Wafula Chebukati. I repeat. Hello. I repeat. I will begin with Wafula Chebukati. And the rogue IEBC. In August 2022, Kenyans from all walks of life, went to the polls to cast their ballot for president, MP, senator, governor, women, women rep, and rep, and rep, and members of the county assembly, members of the county assembly, members of the county assembly. I commend all Kenyans. I commend all Kenyans who carried out this, the sacred and patriotic duty, and cast their ballot peacefully. You expected the IEBC to transmit, tally, and announce the results in accordance with the law, and the free of bias and corruption. But the IEBC, under the then chairman, Wafula Chebukati, two commissioners, Abdi Gulie, and Boya Molu, and the chief executive officer, Marjan Hussein, formed a cartel within the IEBC, to the exclusion of the four new commissioners. Disregarded the votes, you cast and cooked their own results. Fellow Kenyans, the presidential results announced unilaterally by Mr. Chebukati on August 15th, while entirely made up by him and had nothing to do with the votes you cast. As leaders who also believe in the rule of law, we immediately filed a petition at the Supreme Court, to dispute the results. At the time, our own internal polling data, and the external objective and impartial independent polls, all showed that we were headed to victory with a very healthy margin. Even the exit polls showed that we had won with a comfortable margin. Now let me shift to the matter of the IEBC whistleblowers. Wapiga furimbi, wapiga parapanda. Since August 15th, we have conducted our own investigations of the IBC and the election results. We are convinced, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that our victory was stolen. Stolen. It therefore came to us with surprise and great relief that within the IBC itself there are great patriots and Kenyans of conscience were willing to risk everything for the sake of our country. I will now publish the true and authentic results of the 2022 elections. Those who have gone over the data, and the forms posted on the whistleblowers website have confirmed the authenticity of the data. The election wasn't even close. According to the IBC whistleblower data, we won handily with over 2 million votes. Allow me to make a few observations about the data. Niendelee. First, we carried the traditional strongholds of the coast, west coast, western, northeastern, lower eastern, Nyanza, and Nairobi with comfortable, often overwhelming margins. But it was our performance in the Mount Kenya region, where we broke all records. The people of the mountain voted for us as they have never done before. I want to take the opportunity to thank the inhabitants of the mountain for giving us an insurmountable margin in the election. According to the IBC whistleblowers and our own internal figures, our opponents beat us, all in panels beat us, all in parts of the Rift Valley. Everywhere else across this diverse and great land, We build them thoroughly. Build them thoroughly. Build them thoroughly. Hello? We know what happened next. What happened next at the Supreme Court. At the Supreme Court. A compromise court failed to either declare the true victors, and run the elections, or order rerun because of the glaring violations of the law and the Constitution by the IEBC. The Supreme Court itself was captured by the cartels that had also captured the IEBC. The two most critical institutions to elections in Kenya, that is the IEBC and the Supreme Court was central to the rigging of the 2022 elections. We know that the foreign technology companies contracted by the IEBC to run the elections and print the ballots. That is why they and the IEBC refuse to provide us with the servers and the authentic data, as well as the election forms. We also noticed with dismay the involvement of some foreign nations in the rigging of Kenya's 2022 elections. In light of the above, here is our clarion call. Here is our clarion call. One, first, we as Azimio reject the 2022 election result totally. We cannot and will not recognize the Kenya Kwanza regime, and we consider the Kenya Kwanza government illegitimate. recognize Mr. William Ruto as the President of Kenya. We don't recognize him, and we equally don't recognize any officials in office with him. Three, we demand that the entire infrastructure and the records of the 2022 elections at the IBC be made public and be audited by an impartial body. A forensic audit of the IBC results and servers is non-negotiable. 4. We demand that any attempts to reconstitute the IBC single-handedly by Mr. Ruto cease forthwith so that Kenyans themselves can reconstitute the body after full and fair deliberations. Five. We reject the empty promises made and being made by the older regime. Instead, we call on Kenyans to reject the punitive order policies, the punitive order policies, the punitive order policies that are making life unbearable. Life unbearable. Order is resorting to these policies, because it was not ready, and did not get any mandate to govern. Sit. In particular, we call on Kenyans to resist. We call on Kenyans to resist and demand the removal of the punitive taxes, that have led to punitive costs of basic products, and services, including unga, milk, sugar, school books, fuel, electricity, bus fare, paraffin, and school fees. From today, we call on every Kenyan buying electricity tokens to take a very close look at the statement and see how much your money actually goes into tokens, how much goes to taxes, and how long are we going to live like this? Seven. We demand that the Kenya Kwanza government resigns as it has neither the mandate nor the ability to govern the country. Eight. We ask our people to say no to the order regime. This regime and this unfortunate and unfair policies must be resisted, and the resistance starts today. Dear Kenyans, Dear Kenyans, dear Kenyans, dear Kenyans, you know that what we do, you know that what we do, you know that what we do in Kenya, in Kenya, matters for Africa and the rest of the world. For Africa and the rest of the world. For Africa and the rest of the world. There will be no reason for citizens of any country to participate in elections only for them to be stolen by domestic cartels in cahoots with their foreign companies and masters. When we sort out the mess here in Kenya, we will be on the track to helping Africa and mark of the third world to sort out their elections and ensure no one gets to power through the back door as Mr. Ruto did. If it is going to take the resilience of the people of Kenya to help Africa, sort out its elections problems. I am ready to lead that process. The older regime must go. Hello.